Greetings. So the players that I will stay friends with after the game, I feel like that's the thing about this experience is that everybody out here was really, really good people. And I was hoping that there were going to be people that I didn't want to like, or I didn't want to hang with, or I didn't want to kick it with after the game. But the person I probably will kick it with the most after the game will probably be Cassidy. I feel like we built a really good bond at Coco. So I had to choose one person that I know I'm going to be friends with for the rest of my life. It's going to be Cassidy. And depending on how things work out, I'll probably be a little sore, but definitely Carla. That's my girl, even though I feel like she helped kick me out the door. The things I miss most about being in the game are just like, I think I haven't played like a team sport in so long. So the camaraderie that you're building going through the challenges is the first thing I'm going to miss. Like just the spirit of competition and pushing myself and looking at different obstacles and thinking I can't do that and doing them. I actually really liked surviving on the land. I really liked how challenging it was to be cold. I liked the struggle while playing, but more importantly, I miss just kind of the longer you're on the island, the more you get to know people and you get to kind of, be more vulnerable out there and you're like going through a collective struggle. The one thing I learned about myself during this journey was that it affirmed that I'm a person that can conquer most things I put my mind to. I feel like I was a pretty good outdoorsman. I feel like I built great relationships with people. I feel like I became a threat because of the relationships that I built. I feel like I played a physical game as well, where people thought I was a physical competitor out here. And I learned that I can do everything I put my mind to and not to doubt myself. And that when I feel that doubt, just push through it and understand it that as much as I may not look at myself as a threat, people look at me as a threat. As much as I don't look at myself as a physical competitor, people look at me as a physical competitor. If I think I'm not strategizing, people think I'm a strategist. So I need to lean in on what people think and say about me and take that into the real world and push harder on the things and my ventures moving forward. And I can really thank Survivor for that. I'm just grateful that I let myself be vulnerable during this experience to build these authentic relationships, and that's what it really took.
All right, I'm here at Ponderosa. I've been voted out, but I had a wonderful time at Survivor, and I guess it's time to reflect. There are quite a bit of players I would stay friends with after the game. Gabler is definitely one of them. I've been invited to go on fishing trips. He's already got stuff planned out in his head for us to go and do things, and it's going to be wonderful. He's a wonderful human being. He helps many people, and he was though he voted me out, I could still see his modesty, his integrity, and it really meant a lot to me. James, of course, I got to go visit Philly. Carla is amazing. Then we have Cody. I'm going to visit him in Hawaii. We're going to have some kava together. And Janine Panini, she's fantastic. She has such a warrior spirit. And then Jesse is somebody I'm definitely gonna stay friends with. Those are the people I really connected with a lot. There's a lot I'm gonna miss about being in the game. I love competition. I love being pushed to my limits. So that competition feel is something that I wanna bring into my life coming back. I wanna put myself out there to be in competitions, maybe lifting or marathons or triathlons. I'm really gonna push myself more now that I've felt that fiery passion to win or strive to be better even if I lose. The reef, the spearfishing, I'd never spearfished before. I've been out 4 times and I caught a total of like 37 fish. I got to see a shark, a black tip reef shark, and that was amazing, along with a sea turtle caught up in the tide, giant clams, and an octopus. It was beautiful. I got to really reconnect with the land and appreciate the food that I'm getting and really work for it. And it meant a lot to me. It was quite amazing. And then the lack of light pollution out on the beach and falling asleep under the Milky Way and the stars. I'm on Survivor. I'm getting to play the dream. There's a lot of people that are going to be watching this thinking, I don't think I can do that. I don't know if I can do that. I wasn't told I could walk. I was told I couldn't walk. So the fact that I went from premature child with learning and walking disability to one of the coolest, most hardworking, not coolest, but hardworking people that are going to be on your tribe. It's amazing. I got to provide, I got to experience, I got to express and listen to people out there. Experience in itself is worth more than $1 million. The friendships that I've made are going to last a lifetime.
Sup everyone, it's Noelle, everyone's favorite amputee. The one experience or the one moment that I would say definitely summed up my Survivor experience would definitely have to say that reward challenge that I came from behind and won, because, coming into this, I knew that I was going to be struggling probably a lot with these challenges just because I am an amputee. And so walking into that challenge, seeing that balance beam, I was like, I'm screwed. There's no way I'm winning this. And I just never gave up. I just kept telling myself, just get through the balance beam, then you can be proud of yourself, even if you don't win, like you just need to get through this. And I mean, literally crying the entire time, every single step that I'm taking, and just being able to cross the balance beam and then actually going and untying the ropes and then being able to stick my sandbag on that big pole. I mean, that hit home with me, and it really just made me think, all right, I'll be satisfied with it, whatever happens, because I had that one moment, and I'm excited to see it back and to hopefully touch a lot of people's lives by just saying, listen, you never give up in anything that you do. Something that I learned about myself, I would definitely have to say, back home I have an amazing support system, and I know that going into every single adventure that I do, I'm never alone. So coming out here, I knew that I wouldn't have that, and having the mental toughness of actually pushing through and not experiencing the self-doubt, because I'm definitely that type of person that'll doubt myself doing everything. So thinking about, going into something saying, yeah, I can't do this, and then having someone at home say, yes, you can. So doing this experience and me being my own voice of reason, that was something that I knew that I needed to happen. And every single day it got better and better, and I kept getting more confident, and especially in these tough challenges. So that's something that I learned about myself, is that I can be positive, I can believe in myself, and I can get through it.
A moment that sums up my experience on Survivor would be when I jumped off the rock on Bessie Beach. I came to this game wanting to have a ton of fun, knowing that any day my George would be snuffed, and I wanted to make sure I sent it every day, that I was living life to its fullest, and I wanted to make sure that there was going to be no regrets left out in the game. And that moment when I jumped off that rock was kind of just something that was, to me, a very symbolic way of how I played the game. But I would do Survivor again in a heartbeat, no brainer, like automatic, guarantee, sign me up, hell, I'd be on 43, on 44 if they let me, I had so much fun. I don't have any regrets of how I played the game. I think, it's easy to say afterwards, like shoulda, coulda, woulda, never. That's the first loser to me, so I would love to give it another shot. It's a safety net of Survivor, and it's the people that you meet, it's experiences that you have, and you learn a lot about yourself, you learn a lot from others, you learn a lot from Survivor. So there's no doubt in my mind that if the opportunity presented itself, I would be out here again in a heartbeat. Message for Jeff. Jeff, much mahalos, brother. I had the time of my life out here, and because of you and what CBS and Survivor has created, I was able to have this opportunity that will change my life forever. And I couldn't be more grateful for that. So much aloha for the crew, the staff, and everyone that makes this happen. The competition was so much fun, and I couldn't be more grateful.
What I miss the most about being in the game is looking into Jeff's eyes. I definitely miss that. I miss Jeff speaking to me and saying my name.
I just miss the whole experience. I love the sort of energy before tribal council. I love the sort of scrambling. I love the sort of strategizing and trying to figure out, who can I get on my side? Who can I get to split their votes? Who can I flip on? Who can I betray? Whose idol can I steal? I just had so much fun out there.
Weirdly enough, is sleeping in the sand, curling in, making a little divot for your hip, and being able to look at those stars. The stars I miss so much.
Something that I learned about myself, through Survivor is that, I am capable of, doing pretty much anything. That, if I put my all in it, I'm always going to be a winner. Even if I didn't win the $1 million, you know, I came out sort of feeling like a winner because like I played such a great game. I feel like I played such a great game. So I know because of this experience that I am capable. I can do, you know, I can do hard things.
Part of the game, you learn and you realize like what's most important are those relationships, and you're in this game that's all about relationships. But then you think about, what about the relationships back home? What about the relationships that really matter? So for me, it was, dang, I need to step up my game on how I communicate with my wife, with my family, with my siblings, with my grandparents, with my friends. I can't take them for granted, and that's the one thing coming out of this game that is leaving the biggest impression on me, is how I manage my own relationships and how I spend my time.
Something I learned about myself during my Survivor adventure was definitely that I need to be kinder to myself, that I need to quell that negative voice in my head, that I need to use positive language about me. I am my toughest critic, and it is not fair to myself, and I need to be okay with being imperfect, and I need to be okay when things don't go my way, and understand that some things are out of my control, and that's fine, and that's life. And I think I'm gonna walk away a more centered person, a more relaxed person, and a better person for it.
Mike Gabler out here after 26 days in the jungle. Epic adventure of a lifetime, unreal. Answering a couple questions here. Name 3 things you will miss the most about being in the game. Team competition, the beauty of Fiji, and even the hardship that spurred the camaraderie. What's something that you learned about yourself during your Survivor adventure that you didn't know before you started the journey? I'm physically and mentally stronger than I ever thought I was. I mean, I'm 51 years old. I'll be 52 by the time this airs. And I worked out to get in decent shape to come here. But, you know, I mean, just being a human, I was a little anxious about, you know, am I going to be able to withstand the punishment of these challenges? And these challenges are real. These are serious physical challenges. And my body, despite not being fueled, rested, or really cared for out here, really surprised me in terms of how strong it was. And mentally, you know, when you're that hungry and you're tired, you stand up and you're lightheaded, and then you've got to go into a team competition and you look at your teammates and it's for immunity or for a reward. And you know, all these games out here are mental and physical. And if you make a mistake, it'll cost your team. I mean, seconds matter in Survivor and you never quit. But that was something that I also really will take away from this, for sure. That's it. It's Gabler from Ponderosa. Probably gonna get some breakfast, see what I can put in my little stomach. And love everybody. Take care, rock and roll, and we'll be in touch.